Hello, everyone. This is Marguerite Fair, and I have a lovely actress that's waiting to be interviewed in our green room, and her name is Julie Chapin. Julie, I'm looking for you. Where are you? Ready? Welcome to Laughter Talks. And we're back today with a lovely, lovely guest today. And I would love to introduce Julie to you. So, Julie, if you don't mind, I'm going to do that right now. Let me introduce you as I welcome you to Laughter Talks. Okay, so born and raised in the brotherly love city of Philadelphia, Julie Chapin had a knack for grabbing attention at an early age. I guess that would be part of why we end up being actors.
Mhm.
Julie went on to perform in some 60 plus productions representing stage, the Vagina Monologues, Cupcake Cabaret, and in film, The Touchstone, See All the People, and many more. I'm just naming a few of these, including the award winning film Soulmate, Smiley Face Killers, and Smoking Section. I like that one. In TV, I'll Kill You, Monsters Inside Me, Celebrity Ghost Stories, and many more of those, and commercials for Hewlett Packard, Kodak, Walmart, and many others. Now, those are also impressive, and I know, and if you do want to see any more of Julie's work, you can go to her IMDb page. I always like to let everyone know that. Now, more recently, Julie has been filming in Hollywood as the lovable, earthy widow Fanny Goldstein in the family adventure film Ghost Googles. Am I saying Googles? Is it Googles or Goggles?
Goggles,
Goggles.
like
I always
glasses. Yeah.
have to say it wrong the first time. So that's Ghost Goggles. And in the recurring role of the tough, classy widow, Alexandra Levy, in the new epic series Sangre Negra.
Sangre Negra, and it's Levy. Although Levy sounds good because of some very famous people like
I know I
Levy,
was
but it's
just
Levy.
watching Schitt's Creek.
I love. You
That
know
kind of
that
stuck in my head. So, but pronounce that
yes,
again for me. The show is, pronounce it
Sangre
correctly.
Negra, which means black blood in Spanish, black blood.
Sangre Negra. I know
Yes.
that was, I just, it sounds very intense. So what I'd like to just, if you don't mind, let's get right into that because I have a lot of interest. What's going on with that show and
Well,
what?
that's it's funny you should say that because though we started filming, I'd say 5 years ago and 4 years ago, and then 2 years ago, I
Wow.
did various episodes. It has just been, as we speak, picked up on Tubi, which is an app that
Oh,
goes on. It can be on your phone, your smart TV, your computer.
oh,
Um, so
congratulations.
yeah, it's a subsidiary of Fox TV,
Oh,
and why that's wonderful is the first episode was on Amazon Prime, but that costs money, and in this day and age, especially things are tight, and so now people can actually see it. It's going to be streamed. The first episode's on there now, but further every week they'll add an episode. Now my character is in the first episode. It's she's introduced. And then I'll later be on in the third and the eighth, I think, in the first season. But let me tell you, it's political struggle and volatile romance with the backdrop is the backdrop, but it's a cross generational saga of the Santos family,
oh,
and it's told kind of telenovela style, like a Dallas or a Dynasty, and it also has a lot of the intrigue of organized crime, like The Sopranos. Very fast moving,
wow. Sounds
and you will
amazing.
recognize some of the people in it, like the senior patriarch of the Santos family. They're the focus. Okay, is Eric Estrada. Remember him from Chips?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, now he's older, of course,
Yeah, we all,
and it has to do. He had three sons. The oldest son is a ambitious um, defender, attorney who defends criminals. He has the middle son is illegitimate, and he's Ricky
oh,
Santos. He's really the protagonist of this thing. He's in the underworld. He's a rising star in the underworld, very well known. They call him Pretty Ricky. And the youngest son is a dedicated policeman. And in the very first episode, you get thrown into it because the youngest son actually arrests the middle son, and then the
Wow.
oldest son actually defends him in a murder case. I don't want to say more than that. Now, how I get into it is the nemesis of the Santos family, of the patriarch, I'll say, Guillermo Santos Sr., is a guy named Vincenzo Sabatini. And I am his sister-in-law, and he mistreats my sister. So I want to bring him down too. So eventually, maybe you'll see in episode 3, I try to, I'm in cahoots with Ricky Santos. There's a lot of interwoven.
It sounds like there's a lot of interesting things going on in the way the characters are being handled. And
Yeah.
how long is each episode?
An hour. An
Wow.
hour. Yeah.
Wow.
And one of the, I think they had a problem. It was on Amazon. The first episode was already on, and it might still be on Amazon Prime. But to get it on Tubi, they had to re-edit it a little to get the commercials, the ads in. So
Yeah.
I don't.
Saying about the date you started initially taping this a while back. What is the reason for all the different timings? Does it have to do with COVID?
COVID has a little bit to do with it, but I also think it's different than a lot of the productions that the networks put on, and there's so much, the funding and all is there, and this was done independently, even though it's going to be broadcast like a Dynasty or a Dallas or whatever. This is kind of amazing, and it's also I think it might be the only series that really shows the Hispanic community. I mean, it's really a Latino
That's
production.
really nice. That's nice to hear.
It's cross-generational. I would be in it. They have all ages, even some children.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing series.
Finished all 8 episodes of the first season, and that's what's going up now. So I think it'll work out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, it will. It's just amazing because everyone's schedule has just changed. Some people, I guess, when they have smaller productions, they find different ways to do it. And the rules are changing so rapidly because of the spikes and the virus and everything. So it's really got everyone kind of spinning. So
you're in LA? And so
yes, I'm in Burbank. Yeah, in Burbank.
I'm in Philadelphia. You can kind of see in the background, right? The city of Philadelphia.
Oh, that's lovely. See, it's so lovely. It looks like a backdrop.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
I was just going to say, though, what we're hearing on the news is that probably Southern California is the worst place to be right now.
I'll tell you, what surprises me, Julie, is I look online and I see a lot of people that unfortunately they are doing social gatherings with their families for holidays, not realizing you can spread this in families. And it's sad because I think that's the reason they're just not paying attention. They miss their families and they're sadly willing to risk their health.
Yeah.
So
I have been isolated pretty much.
So let me take a minute. Let's show everybody. I have your newest demo reel, and then the last clip they'll get to see a little bit of your project. So let's take a minute. Let's look at this right now.
Okay.
What are you into?
Anything. Everything.
Good.
What about you?
You'll find out. And action.
Sure. Why not?
I'll try anything once.
Oh, you remind me of my husband, God rest his soul.
We made a film. And we would like to show it here.
Oh, really? What kind of film?
It's a gay porn film.
First of all, we don't show porn here. We show art films.
Right, and our film is an art film.
And second, we don't show no bad movies here.
be happening again in our town. Helen, what are you laughing at? How can you find any of this funny? We have a crisis on our hands. Helen? Are you having one of your episodes? Helen, do I need to go up and get your pills? Helen?
I knew this day would come. I knew they'd find a way back into our town. We couldn't keep them out forever. With their cheese, and their sauce, and their herbs!
Helen, what are you saying?
This is what I've been preparing for! Come with me!
Yes!
Don't think you can con me, Mr. Pretty Ricky. I know that your family has disowned you, and my brother-in-law, Vinny Sabatini, has basically acted as your mentor. You're a gangster, Mr. Santos.
I've been looking at all your reels. I love looking at actors' reels, but you can see the passion of the project, even in that little bit that we get to see. Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, and I mean, that isn't really an official reel. I wanted to show you and your subscribers that things that I've done recently during 2020 that that were interesting. Like the first part was something called Goodbye 70s. And because in the 70s, okay, that's the 1970s, that was the golden age of gay pornography. Yeah, I know. Like people, when I said Goodbye 70s, they said, "Are you 70?" I said, "Not yet, not yet." But anyway, and there is I have to tell you that there is some nudity, so it probably is going to be an R, if not an X. But it's so interesting because it does show the time, and it's about this this dancer who was thrown off of the stage because of issues, and he then he met other people, and they started to make these art films. We'll call them art films, but it was the gay films, and he didn't like what he was seeing on Times Square. They're really seedy stuff, and I play the owner of one of these theaters, and it was great fun because I was based on a real person that the writer director knew about, and she was kind of badass. I would say Alexandra Levy's kind of badass, but the middle part of the clip is I'm not bad. Well, it's a parody on the genre of the 80s slasher.
Oh yeah.
The 80s slasher films, and it's a story about an elderly couple who seek revenge on a pizza restaurant. And I don't actually a pizza driver ran over their only son who died as a result. So I know that, but that's handled very lightly. But
okay, so it's a dark comedy at that point.
Yeah, well, it goes in and out of that.
But
And
you know what a good story does? A good story will take you back and forth. That's very good.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. I really want you to know, Marguerite. I really try to do as many films and plays that are written and produced by women, and that one is totally women. And
wonderful.
I find the ones that I've done, the women are so creative and imaginative, and they're passionate about it. So I was really happy to do that one. And it's not, yeah.
That's nice to hear. That's important because we do really have to promote women. You know, I want to ask you too, before we go now, if people want to reach out to you and contact you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, they could go to my website and there's a contact thing there. Okay.
Oh, the contact form. And what is your URL for the website?
It's Julie.
Uh-huh.
With a dash, and then Chapin, my last name, .com.
Okay, and that will be, I'm also going to put that right up here for everyone to see. I like to have the person say it and see it at the same time because there's a lot of wonderful things to see on your site. But yeah, so that's how you guys can reach out to. Now, is there anything you'd like to leave us with, what's going on or what's coming up or
Well, there's
anything?
another, okay, so, yeah, yeah, the Goodbye 70s one is going to come out in video on demand on February 16, and I might be able to tell
Wow.
you, I don't know exactly then how you get it, but people that are interested in that genre, it's really the LGBTQ,
Yeah.
genre. And there is another film that I would like to mention. I'm just so over the top on this one.
Oh,
It won't come out till April because
okay.
of COVID,
Okay.
but it's called What Do I Do Now? And it's a true story. And it's, well, in that I play the main character's Bubby. Do you know that word? It's a Jewish grandmother.
Oh, no, I haven't heard that, but that's adorable. Bubby, I like that.
Bubby, yeah. And it's back in the 40s. And it's based, yeah, the person that wrote it was in the fourth stage pancreatic cancer, and he's since passed away, but he got to see the rough cuts and he was delighted. And it's
wow.
really his story. And it reminds me of like a Neil Simon script. It's just so delightful. And I just love being Bubby because my background, I probably was the only one in the movie too that has this background, but my grandparents came over from Russia,
Mhm.
and they were Jewish and came from Russia. So I felt like I was channeling this Bubby. So that's kind of exciting.
Wow.
And otherwise, I just would leave your viewers with the thought that it's never too late, because I don't think was in my bio that I was a lawyer for a good 30 years.
Wow.
And I just suppressed this creative bent that I think everybody has it. It might not be acting, it might be painting, it might be writing.
Exactly.
And it's just so good. I waited till I was practically 60 to go all out. I know I when I was a child I did it, but I had to put it aside.
Yeah, well, good for you. And that's a wonderful message because Julie, that's my platform too. First,
Bless you. Wow. I
yeah,
love it.
so that's wonderful. You look amazing. You look wonderful. And to hear about all the things you're doing, I just get naturally drawn towards other women that are of that mindset. So I thank you so much for being a guest today and sharing your enthusiasm with us because it's joyful and
Oh, thank
you can
you.
start careers, you can do it. And thank you for sharing that because that's a wonderful way for all of us to go into the new year.
Absolutely. And it's been a delight meeting you and
Thank
and
you.
talking to you.
Have
I
to
hope
give a shout out to Sam Wagoner because she
Sure.
really put us together. She's inspirational and I meet a lot of wonderful people through Sam. I adore her.
Yeah, well, I do too. I tell her we're soul sisters. And
That's
you're
it.
probably in the same family.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, Julie, you have a wonderful day and thank you again and have a happy new year.
And you
And
too.
everybody, make sure you come back and subscribe. That
to
was
Laughter
amazing.
Talks.
Thank you,
Okay,
Julie.
take
It was
care,
a
Julie.
joy to
Okay,
meet you.
bye-bye.
And
Bye.
everyone, I want to remind you to support your immune system, only one per customer. And Laughter Talks is sponsored by Fair Productions. So go to the fairproductions.biz website and find out all the projects that Granny Tino is up to. Everybody, Happy New Year. See you next time. Bye.